All right, I'm live. Okay, before I get started today, okay, maybe just now I'm live. But anyway, before I get started today, I want to say thank you to Joan from, I don't know if it's Canovia or Kinovea. I've never figured that out. I don't want to put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. But anyway, Joan owns the software that I've been doing this slow motion analysis with. And just by coincidence, she was watching my live stream last week when I commented on her. So she emailed me and helped me get the newest version up there. And it is better. So thank you very much. It can be my first time really using it right now. So I'm excited about it. So for those of you who are jumping on, my name is Mike Caton. I am the founder of Ace Method Coaching. And I have a website called acemethodcoaching.com with a lot of content for runners and hurdlers, mostly focused on hurdlers these days, and a YouTube channel with lots of things for all levels of hurdlers. But seems as though a lot of emphasis on me is going towards hurdle technique. So I help people of various abilities and experiences with their hurdling, because I've coached for many, many years now, middle school, high school, college, and now only online. And I work with people all over the world, literally. And it's a lot of fun. And so I'm getting a lot of demand to help people. So I have a subscription. Well, the things that I do a lot of, I sell a lot of hurdle training plans to coaches, also some to athletes. I also sell a lot of a video course called Hurdling 101, which teaches people how to learn how to hurdle from absolute beginner to proficient. And then I also have a fair amount of people that are part of a subscription that I have, both hurdlers and coaches, called Ace Hurdler and Ace Coach subscription, where they have unlimited access to me, correspondence with me, to ask me questions, send me videos for advice, stuff like that. So, but also I get a whole lot of requests for people to look at, for me to look at their videos. And the best way to do it is to lump them all into these live streams, so that everybody can benefit from them. And then if you like working with me, then who knows, maybe you'll consider joining my subscription. So first time is free. After that, you have a choice. You could either pay $29 to have me review your next video, or you could just join my subscription, which gives you unlimited access to me for $29 a month, quit anytime. So to me, it's a no-brainer. So with all that being said, I am going to jump into 8 video reviews that I have for you today. If during the process of this you have a question, leave that question on here. I won't see it because I'll be just into those videos. When I'm done with that, I'll bounce out and see if anybody else has any questions for me, and I'll go from there. So I've been on the wrong screen all this time anyway, but here I'm going to start looking at some videos using my updated version of Canovia. Okay. All right, I'm going to start off with Douglas. Okay, so Douglas is a freshman who ended up running on his varsity team. He is right here in the blue in lane 2. He ran varsity for his high school team indoors, is hoping to run it again for his high school team outdoors, and he's kind of struggling with 3 and 4 steps. I haven't seen him yet. This is my first time looking at it. This video quality looks amazing, and I don't know if it's what he sent me or it's because of the new version of the software, but here we go. Okay, it's taking a while. Come on. Okay, I'm going to bring this to here. That way I always start at this point. I don't have to go through that again. Okay, unfortunately, okay, there we go. You are right here. Okay, so, ooh, this guy took a bad tumble. Okay, so let me go back. I learned from Joan that I can go backwards using my mouse. I didn't know that. This video file doesn't seem to be playing at full speed, probably because it's big. Okay, so I'm looking at you over here, taking a really big jump over that hurdle, but you look like a small guy, and these are 39-inch hurdles. Let me see what you do here. So I'm going to look at you here. So you are landing here, got your knee really high. Okay, not bad. 1, 2, 3, and then up over that hurdle. I mean, obviously, you are having to jump high. I mean, okay, what is going on here? And so we're watching your hips drop a lot here, but again, you don't appear very tall, and those are big hurdles, and you're a freshman. So some of that's going to be expected. So keep in mind that when you're small, you have to leap longer. You have to land pretty far on the other side and take off far on the other side in order to not jump too high, to compensate for your height, which I'm just guessing. Okay, but so not bad. Unfortunately, though, you can see your knee buckle here. That's because of the drop down from the height. Okay, not a bad drop of that trail leg. Okay, second step, third step. This one you're going to take 4 steps in. So I'm going to guess that this is not your dominant leg, although not bad. Yeah, this is not as pretty of a landing on this leg as the other leg. So first advice is to make sure that you do all your drills on both legs. And if you're going to be 4-stepping, then practice everything 2 times or enough with both legs. So come on. First step, second step, third step, fourth step. And this is back to what I'm thinking is your dominant leg. Okay, there's a good shot there. Sorry, it's a little bit, the video is behind my movements. I mean, come on. Okay, so, all right. Here's my advice. I think overall you're doing well. Really well, actually. I just think that developmentally, physically development of you is a little bit behind your peers at the moment. So you're the smallest guy out there, jumping over 39-inch hurdles. I think given that, you are doing really well. but you are, sorry, I can't, it's, anyway, I think you're jumping a little high, so we don't want to make the challenge any worse, okay? Let me do this. So try to skim those hurdles a little closer. But overall, I think you're doing well, and you're wondering about 3 or 4 step. That's a tough one. You're kind of on the fence. It doesn't seem to me that you're ready to 3-step the whole thing. I do think there's nothing wrong with the approach you're taking, which is to just 3-step as many as you can, and then when it seems like you're not going to be able to do it anymore, then 4-step to the next hurdle, and then go from there. And then over time, you'll be able to do more 3-stepping and less 4-stepping, and then eventually you'll be able to do the whole thing. But it might be you just keep working hard at it, biding your time until your body catches up to your heart. Anyway, I hope that helped. I hope that wasn't too corny, but there's some things that you can't control, because this all looks really good. I think you're doing a fine job. I think you have the makings of a good hurdler. You just need to like I said, let your body catch up, which happens. That's the reason why in boys hurdles, the best ones are usually juniors and seniors. Okay, I'm going to JC, who I tried to do last week and had these technical issues that I'm not having today. Okay. So JC is in the blue here. She's winning this race handily. Okay, so let's see what we learn here. Okay, wait, let me see if you're a 3-step or 4-step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I know what to look for. All right, so on this leg, the one you're leading with your left, that leg seems to be leading with too straight of a leg, meaning you're not having your heel tucked under your body, so you're lifting a semi-straight leg up, which is going to give you too much vertical lift. You're also, you see how you have it swung sideways? So that means you are possibly too close to that hurdle, and you're swinging your leg around from the left. That would be clockwise, which sets you up for some rotational forces that could hurt you as you're coming down here, because now your opposite side of your body has to overcompensate for that. Plus, it's usually going to make you too high. And so you can see you're too high over that hurdle. And your arms are straight, like the left arm is straight behind you. And I can't really, yeah, your right arm is also straight out. You want to keep those tight at 90 degrees and stay lower over that hurdle, and try to lead with the hurdle with your knee. And at the end, you unfurl that leg right at the top of that hurdle. Okay? So let's see what happens here. I'm looking at the trail leg now. Came down pretty far in front of you. You would really kind of want to bring it down powerfully. But here's step 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going over with the other leg, which also is swinging from the outside. So this is swinging counterclockwise. So JC, sometimes that happens when we're too close to the hurdle. And you're doing that to avoid kicking it with your shin. Or sometimes it's just what you're doing to compensate for your lead arm, which I don't think that's the case here. But look how high you are over the hurdle. So the main concept to understand here is you want to maintain your speed as much as possible. Because when you do that and you keep the speed up, you will have a much easier time getting to the next hurdle in 3 steps, and you can 3-step it. But every time you jump high, it slows you down So you lose speed on the hurdle, and you're losing more and more speed as the race goes on, or at least every time you hurdle, which means you can't get to the next hurdle in 3 steps. You have to 4 steps, which is what you got going on here. And then let's look at those arms like helicopters. See? Okay. You want to keep those arms bent at 90 degrees. Whatever arm is forward, the opposite arm is going to go forward. And then as you come off of the hurdle, everything switches. Your left leg comes forward in this case, and your right arm goes forward. But you, because of, watch this, swinging the lead leg counterclockwise, that means the upper body has to swing clockwise, and now you come off the hurdle and the opposite happens. Upper body swings counterclockwise and the lower body is swinging clockwise. And then look at this right here. You are leaning towards the camera like you're ready to fall down, like barely keeping yourself up, and then you compensate there, and then you're back to running again. But the same thing happens all the time. So if you're going to 4-step, try to go over that hurdle from a farther distance. So take little shorter, faster strides, or work to 3-step so you can do that. I do have a video on my YouTube channel about 3-stepping, which, excuse me, it shows a segment of my Hurdling 101 video that shows you how to start learning how to 3-step. And so anyway, that will help you. All right. Sorry it took me so long to get to your video. Kevin, let me look at Kevin. Kevin is a junior in high school, very serious about hurdling. Really wants to have a good junior year. Okay, let me pull this thing over. Okay. All right. Kevin, a lot of good stuff going on there. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kevin. All right. So let me break it down. Good start. Very good start. Good shin angle. Really good. Really good. Really good. Really good. Oh, that's nice. Nice. Okay, so many people that send me videos, they have this leg out here like this, landing on their heels. Notice how Kevin's knee is bent. He is going to strike underneath or close to his center of mass versus having his foot out here. He's on the balls of his foot. So when he brings his weight on this leg, already this leg is caught up. So this is setting him up to go over the hurdle nicely, okay? Versus what I see so often is almost like a pole vault pole stuck out here, which wants to send you up. This is a shorter step underneath him, and it wants to bring his momentum down or forward. So let's see what happens here. So Kevin, one thing is I would like to see your knee a little higher. I'm sorry, your foot tucked up to your butt a little bit more at this point. And so even at this point, your heel should be higher, because this is kind of lifting it's not a straight leg, but more limb than you need to be. Okay, so this is a very good commitment, push off of this plant leg. And it looks like so far all his momentum is going forward, unlike 95% of what comes to me, which is trajectory this way. His seems to be going forward. Let's see if it continues. Yes, this is good. Okay, see everybody how he's not jumping over the hurdle. He's running over the top of the hurdle. So his heel looks like it's going to hit it, right? But it lifts barely. This is exactly what you want. He's fully committed at this point. He's leaning into it. It does seem like Okay, there's his arm. And his trail arm is bent at 90 degrees. Kevin, this is so far great. I might use this video to demonstrate some things. It does seem, though, it's interesting. Normally, I would see you start to come down here, but you're drifting pretty far away from that hurdle. Okay, so let's see where you reach your peak. Okay, right here. Okay, Kevin, one suggestion is why don't you try to pull your plant about 6 inches back, right here, okay? So you're farther away, because yeah, this is, now that I look at it, this is kind of close to that hurdle. So start at 6 inches and see if you can go from there. Because what you want is this piece right here where you reached your top. You want that to have happened a little bit farther back so that you can drop down on the hurdle versus keep sailing over the hurdle and landing over here. The faster you can get down, the quicker you're going to be up to running. And because you're farther away, you would had to take a lesser leap. So know that. Also, when you come off that hurdle, what you want to be doing right here is as you start to pull this trail arm forward, you want to bring your hips with it. So you want your hips to go forward, and that'll help drop your lead leg down faster. And then so right here, you want to be a little more forward with the hips, a little more with your back more straight. Okay? That's a bit of a reach there with that trail leg. You want to try to bring that powerfully underneath you. So work on that too. Yeah, you got a big bit of a gap there as you touch down. Okay, looking good. Okay, looks good. So everybody watch his hips. Notice that it doesn't, they don't like jump up a foot to get over the hurdle and then drop back down. He stays pretty much horizontal. Watch this. Like here, instead of dropping down, watch his foot will come down and he pretty much just stayed level, right? That's the way we want it to look. Okay, Kevin, so the two main things was to try to leap from farther back and try to pull your hips forward as you come off that hurdle and try to bring your trail leg down underneath you here versus, I can even see it here, stretching out way in front of you. That's not fast. Okay, bring it down fast. Okay, those are the three things. Okay, so good job though. You were really close. Okay, Tanner. I don't know anything about Tanner. I don't know. Let's find out. This is one of those videos where I'm only going to see a brief moment when he enters or she. I don't know if Tanner's a boy or girl yet. Come on, Tanner. Come on. Holy smokes. Okay, so whoa. Okay, so okay, so this is a really good example of some things. Thanks for sending this, Tanner. So hopefully, Tanner, you can go back and watch the video of Noah, Kevin, who was right before you, because this is the opposite. So notice Kevin took this really small, well, it wasn't that. It was a short step over the hurdle, over the last one, opposite of this. See the reach out here with the heel? Also, the fact that, Tanner, that you were crouched down so low right here, This tells me that you were running along towards this hurdle. You got up to it and you said, I am now going to launch myself high over this hurdle. So you came down low, took a big step, and then went up, right? So that's, and then you got both of your arms forward. This is kind of like a long jumper. Now, I don't mean to make fun of you, but I'm just trying to show you. This is a great video, by the way, and the quality is amazing. Trying to show you that you did subconsciously, all your energy was trying to get you to jump up and far. So this looks like the way you would go if this were a sand pit and you wanted to go as far as you can, right? And then now you're going to drop, 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 drop. But you never pulled your trail leg through. So, and then see how you're falling over towards the camera. So I'm going to real quick look at this other video that you sent, see if it's, I'm going to learn from my first. Okay, it looks this pretty much the same. Okay, so let me go to here. So Tanner is way over here. Okay, so basically, don't crouch down like this. Just run at it. Okay, just run at it. Have faith. What I would do is not. To me, you are. This looks like an absolute beginner, and you are running at a full-heighted hurdle. So my recommendation for you is you go to my website, you get my hurdling 101, and you learn how to hurdle properly. But because I would not do what you're trying to learn how to do. I would first teach you what does it feel like to run full speed and leap over a hurdle, to actually hurdle it, staying horizontal versus jumping over it, having to slow down, gather yourself, and spring over that hurdle. Because all you're going to do is just teach yourself bad habits that are going to be really hard to break later. So that's my recommendation to anybody in a situation trying to learn. Learn how to do it right, and then it'll work much better than this. Okay? So, and then don't reach out like this, and then don't jump up. And then if your left leg is going to go forward, then your right arm should go forward and your left arm should go back. And then as you reach the top and then you start coming off that hurdle, then everything switches, right? Your left leg goes down, your right leg should go up and your knee should be here at this point. This arm should now be going forward and the right arm be going back. And then it'll feel a lot more balanced than that. But the main thing is to, before you start doing too much of this, go back to the basics and learn the actual movements of hurdling so you can do it right. And then let me know how that goes. All right. I wonder if I did some things wrong here. So this was Tanner. Did I skip Noah? Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, I skipped somebody named Noah. Okay. The one before this with the great example was Kevin. Okay, Noah. So this is another. This one is going to be, I glimpsed this one earlier because you're so far away, which is great to see 3 videos, but you are pretty pixelated. There you are. You look like a ghost. But I can see that your leg is tucked really well. You're going to lead with your right. So it looks like really good commitment with that plant leg. You got your arm going forward. This, I think, is good. I'm going to know more in a little bit. It's funny, this is like reviewing a ghost. I don't know why it looks this way. Oh, that is cool. Okay, so what I mean by cool, I think, okay, so this is your shoe. This is your shoe. Okay, maybe not what I, no, not what I, okay. Actually, it is pretty good. If that's your shoe, that means that your knee is right. Here's your thigh, here's your knee, and then here's your shoe. Okay, I got it. I got it here. I got confused for a second. This is really good position. You see how his foot is here. His hips are right on top, like he's got a straight leg, and his knee is up. This is the way you're supposed to look when you land off of a hurdle. Ideally, it would be a little closer to this, but I don't know anything about your height. Whoop. But that was good for sure. So good job there. So here's the first step. I can't tell, but it looks like your shoulders are facing the camera at this point, which means you're twisted, but not. And then now you're going to straighten out. You're going to take probably, my guess is a really long stride with a lot of backside. See that? Not the fastest. Can you see the way that your foot got way behind you? Approach here. If you can, let me finish here, and then I'll talk some more. So this is a shorter stride. So you are doing you're doing three-stepping. Your first step is a little long. Your second step is really long, and then your third step is the short one, which is okay because now you're trying to stay low over that hurdle. Here's your coach. Does your coach know you're sending me videos? Okay, so you might get jealous. Okay, so there's your lead leg, really tucked well. So your foot starts to go. Okay, this is going to show us something, because it seems like you're a pretty good distance away. So look, here's the height, here's the top of the hurdle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look for your hips or your pelvis to see how high you get over here. And how high, I mean, your knee is way up here. Versus when we saw Kevin, his knee was down here, right? Barely as high as barely over the height of the hurdle. Yours is pretty high, which your trajectory is up. But this here, there's a really nice extension with that leg. So I'm looking right here, pretty high over that hurdle, higher than you need it to be. So this seems to be right here, the apex of your jump. That means the top of your jump, and then you're going to start going down. And to be fair, I will say that you are on the front side of the hurdle. So good job there. And then you're coming down on that hurdle. So good job. Okay, but you got to admit, oh, wait a minute. I see what I'm, okay, you're on this hurdle over here, which is taller than these two hurdles, or one. I think there's 3 hurdles, and you're at a higher one. Okay. And you actually hit it with your heel of your lead leg. See, I can see it wobble a little bit. So what I'm trying to figure out is if you're taking off from a good point, you have a great lead leg, you're coming down on the hurdle, yet it still just looks to me, when I look at this, I see a lot of your hips dropping, 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 dropping. Might just be the angle. I just feel like you got higher than you needed to. But the argument could be made, then why did you hit it with your heel? It might be that you just need to straighten out your thigh, just your knee a little bit more. And you know I'm not a fan of a totally locked out knee, but 95, 98%, I mean, even would work. But you hit it on the way up. And then there's that trail leg, I think, planting too. Look at that, how stretched out it is. Okay, so you had another one. Let me look at this one. Let me see what I. Okay. Okay, pretty crouched down. You see that? You really want to run high between hurdles and high at the hurdle. Lift your center of mass as much as possible. Okay. Yeah, see how bent your knee is? That's what I was thinking about the other one. Try to, maybe you have really tight hamstrings. If you're going to do that, if you need to stretch out your hamstrings, watch my video about running stretches before you do that. I have strong opinions about that. I'm not going to go into that right now. So, okay, this looks funny because it's just, okay, this isn't the same. I wonder if this is like earlier in your development, because you're not landing, you're not hurdling quite the same in this one as the other. This one you are pulling your trail leg through sooner, and so it's just too far. I don't know, just, well, no, that looks good. Maybe you just hit that first hurdle poorly. You're, I gotta say, Noah, you're a challenge. Okay, but I like a challenge. Again, I like this landing. So you come off the hurdle really well, but okay, this one's going to give me a good indication of how horizontal you're staying. So we got the fence line here, right? And if we watch right now the fence line is at your top of your waist. And then now it is under your whole body and then top of the waist again. And you really, of course, the hurdle is higher than the fence. So I got to be fair about that. I do think you could stay lower over that hurdle. Look at that. This is a good shot. Okay. So, okay, let me summarize this up. I think you could be possibly a little farther away. Try to stay lower. Try to extend your knee of your lead leg a little bit more than you are so you can stay lower. And then keep doing everything else you're doing. Of course, keep your arms bent more. This arm needs to be bent at 90 degrees. Think about pulling your elbow back instead of your hand. But this landing is really nice. Like, that's like Olympians look like that. So good job. But actually, that one you brought your trail leg down really nicely. So you're a little bit inconsistent, but then look at that big second step, right? So maybe because you're young and you're just doing the best that you can right now, but the ultimate goal is to learn how to run between the hurdles and try to just work on full speed versus trying to do it with this elongated step. But I have to say, as long as you are going to have that elongated step, best that it's your second step, which is what you're doing. So good job. You got a lot of good things going on. So I hope that helped. I know it was kind of confusing. I hope I didn't lose all my audience on that one. Okay, moving on to Nick. Nick is an 8th grader who has no coach at his school. In 7th grade, he got his school record. He wants to also break the 8th grade school record in the 100 and the 300. And honestly, I don't know which one he is. So I hope it's obvious by the camera. I'm going to guess it's the, you know what? I don't know. It could be any, okay. Okay, I'm going to take a guess on who the camera follows and the fact that he's a school record holder. And I hope I don't sound racist on this, but I've never met a black guy named Nick. So I'm going to guess that this is Nick. Okay, so if I'm wrong, sorry, Nick, and sorry to anybody that I just offended. So let's watch this. Oh, okay. Okay, so 5-stepping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here is my first recommendation. I don't know that you can get any faster than you are right now taking those teeny tiny steps like that, right? That's what 5-stepping is all about, okay? Ironically, because I want to tell you to 3-step, but ironically, the 3 guys you're racing against, they're all 3-stepping, and you're beating them. So I'm losing my argument here, but hopefully logic will tell you that you want to be able to run as fast as possible, and running with teeny tiny steps is not as fast as possible. But the lesson here is 5 tiny fast steps are faster than 3 really slow steps like your competitors here. Okay, so the next progression would be, could you 4-step? That way the strides would be more normal, they'd be faster, but you're going to have to switch to alternating legs over the hurdle. That's my recommendation at this point, is to do that. So either get good at 4-stepping, which I have a YouTube video that talks about 4-stepping, so you should check that out. Or you could learn how to 3-step. I have a YouTube video talking about how to 3-step as well. So in summary, you reduce the space of the hurdles to a spacing that you can 3-step at, get comfortable with it, and as you get better, you gradually spread the hurdles out so that you are getting better and better and more efficient and faster. Then you're able to 3-step at the actual race distance. Okay, so that's that. I hope that helped you and some other people. 2 more. Tegan. Okay, Tegan is a junior running a 19.68 in the 100, wants to 3-steps, wants to go to state. The goal is to run under 18 seconds. I get all that, but then I have to say I'm a little bit baffled to see you running in the grass next to cars, what looks like lumpy grass, and on a hill. So I'm a little bit skeptical on what I'm going to see here. Like, Tegan, why aren't you on a track? Okay. Well, not bad, Tegan. Okay, so you do take it seriously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so, all right. So here's the deal, Tegan. Because I don't know what the spacing is. I mean, you're running 5 steps, but from the front, it looks like you're running kind of full speed, which doesn't, slightly, right? I mean, you're not taking, like if you saw the video before me, Nick was having to 5-step. He doesn't look any taller than you, but he was having to take these little tiny baby steps. Whereas you're taking what looks like more normal strides and you're 5-stepping. So I'm thinking that these hurdles aren't spaced properly. So this is another reason why in the grass is not the best thing unless you work with the spacing. So it's difficult for me to even give real advice on this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to look at your technique and see what I can teach you about your technique, because everything else, I don't even know how based in reality it is. So let's see here. Let me zoom in. So I'm thinking that this new version of Canovia is better for the quality of videos, because everybody's videos look so much better than before. So thank you, Joan. Okay, so I'm looking at many things. I'm looking at how squared up you are to the hurdle. I'm watching your lead leg. It looks like, excuse me, your heel is tucked underneath your butt. You're coming very nicely, leading your lead leg to the hurdle. Your shoulders are still squared up. Your opposite arm is forward. This arm could be bent and back more. See how you have your trail arm here? It needs to be behind you, but bent. But great lead leg, great lead leg. Okay, and now I'm also looking at your plant leg here, which doesn't look like you get this really hard extension. Like I want to see hurdlers plant on that ground, go into that hurdle and push really hard off their plant leg. In your case, your left leg, push really hard to where it fully extends right through the top of the hurdle. Yours doesn't look like it ever fully extends, okay? Which means you're not getting the full speed to that hurdle, okay? But this is really nice. Look how low you are over the hurdle. You are just wrapping around it. Look at that, Tegan. Good job. This is what a lot of people need to get better at. I'm not making fun of you here. I'm just emphasizing this. This is really good. This is why we do the hanging trail leg drill, to practice that swivel with the hips to get over, okay? So good job on that. If you ever take a video like this on a real track, head on like this, send it to me. I'd like to use it if you don't mind. But I don't like that your arms are both out like this, okay? This arm should be forward and kind of bent, and this one should still be behind your body. And then now as you're coming down off that hurdle, everything should switch. This leg should come forward, this arm should go forward, and this arm should go back, and this hand should end up right by your knee. We call sweeping the knee, and it didn't happen at all. Like here's your arm, you just cut it up here, and look at that. So now, look how off balance you are. Shoulders turned around. So let me recap. Here's the reason why. Because you weren't balanced to begin with. So at this point, this arm should be back, this arm should be forward, this leg should be so forward, forward, back, back. And you hold that as you go over the hurdle, and as you start to come down, then you switch. This comes forward, this goes back, this goes down, okay? And this hand by here, because otherwise you're going to end up just like you are, totally off balance, okay? And again, because I can't see it from the side, I don't know whether you took off too close or not. I don't know. But I do, again, I like the way you go over that. I like the way your lead leg goes over the hurdle. This trail leg looks pretty funky. Okay, right here, your knee should have been up here closer to your chest, foot forward. Okay, see how off balance you are? So, Tegan, you are a really good candidate for my Hurdling 101. You will probably breeze right through it and finish it in 1 or 2 sessions, 1 or 2 practices, but you will be a really different, better hurdler at the end of it. Guaranteed, guaranteed. In fact, if you get it and you don't think it helps you, you let me know and I'll give you your money back. But it will help you because you just have some technical things that you need to fix. Okay? And then I think you're going to be great. I think you got some things that most people struggle with. You kind of innately do it. And then you have some things that are easy to fix that you just need to fix really quick and then get off the grass. So hope that helped. Okay, last one, Kristen. We're finishing with a college freshman who I don't think has had his he hasn't raced yet, so he sent me videos of his high school senior year. And I'm going to go with this one here so I learn who you are. So because you're the only person in this race. It's not race, in this practice. Okay, I'm going to pull this to here. Okay, even further. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you got a lot going on here. Good stuff. Okay, so a lot of good power coming out of the blocks. Good low heel recovery. Good job on that. Now let me watch you come up on the hurdle. I want to see something here. Striking the ground well. Okay, so see this? See what we got going on here? You have your lead leg coming in twisted in, so your foot is out. And then to compensate, your upper body has to do the opposite. So since your lower body is swinging counterclockwise, because it's going to have to do that to swing this leg from the side back to the center, right? See that? Then your upper body has to do the opposite. So that means you have to lean to the right. See how you're leaning here? You have to send your left arm too far across your body because right now you're twisted. You have your upper body twisted clockwise and your lower body twisted counterclockwise. And look how it has your plant leg or your trail leg wrapped around here. Okay, not uncommon. If you see the personal best series, video series that I'm doing about Marc Andre, very similar situation. Okay, his is worse because he has this whole over the top arm swinging thing and he brings up a lead leg, but he ends up similar to this. So usually now you got to uncoil from this twist. So what's going to happen is now legs are going to over twist this way, upper body's got to come back around the opposite direction. So let me see if that happens on you. Or are you just so powerful that you can muscle through it? Okay, so that looks pretty good, but I haven't got to the point to see if I'm what the evidence is yet. But your arm came back nicely, kind of by your knee. It could stand to be bent more. Don't get me wrong. I would like to see the trail arm bent more as it comes forward because you're having a... Okay, watch this. Watch your shoulders and your arms, how they're going to start moving counterclockwise. See that? Little bit twisted, not horrible. It's because you've got a really strong core. But you would do better if you take this advice. Bring your your lead leg through straight versus twisting. Straight, bring your knee towards that hurdle, bring your foot towards that hurdle, bring this arm straight forward, this arm straight back. Keep everything squared up, okay? You know, hurdles always on the other side always have a black box here and a black box here. This one is the one you want to drive your knee into, and this is the one you want to drive your arm into, okay? It keeps you straight up. But let's see you come off. Okay, pretty good position. But because you had to overcompensate by swinging, remember, as you come off the hurdle, everything swings opposite. So upper body now shifts into counterclockwise, lower body switches into clockwise. So you end up with a bit of an over rotation with your knee here. It should have started driving down sooner, but you didn't start driving it down until it was all the way forward. So you could have already been down to the ground right now, okay? Okay, good. Good. This looks to me like you are low and you are ready to jump up. I'm thinking you're not super tall. So here we go again. This is leaning in. Then you start leaning your upper body to the left and twisting to the left. So you get all coiled up here. And then you got to uncoil right here. End up a little bit twisted here. See how I can see both shoulders like turn towards the camera. That's because of that twist. Okay, also notice this. Okay, it's subtle, but watch your right leg as it comes down because you're still trying to gain balance. See how it's kind of swinging from the outside, right? See that? It's not pulling through straight. That's because you're trying to straighten yourself out still. And now you corrected and now you're normal. So it takes you a stride and a half off that hurdle to correct yourself. Also, you're crunched down. I would try to run up really high, get really tall as you come up on that hurdle. It'll help you. Okay, you can already see, look, you've got the right leg angled in, you got the upper body angled out. So you're twisted. I'm just going to keep repeating myself over and over, but this is a really cool angle. And you didn't even lose your earbuds. If I could see your foot. So this is you got a lot of good stuff going on. A lot of good stuff. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see what I see in this video. Yeah, kind of hard to tell there. I think we saw everything. I just want to see what's here. Okay, here you are right here. Yeah, we still have it. You can see whenever you go over that hurdle, how hard you're punching your left arm to the camera. That's because it's compensating what we're doing, what I was talking about. So just more reinforcement of the same thing. So I'm glad you're running in college. I think you're going to do really well. You just, if you straighten out those things I was talking about, I think it'll make a big difference. So that was a lot of talking. Let me go back out and see. Somebody said, great work, coach. Looking forward to seeing more videos. Thank you very much. We don't really have a track. I'm sorry. Oh, I wonder if that was, sorry, I can't remember everybody's name. I have all their names here, but I remember the order of the videos. But anyway, so that's good. So if you want me to help you, you can go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. In fact, let me show it to you real quick. Let me make sure I'm on the right screen. Okay. And wouldn't you know it, I don't even have it open. Okay, so, sorry I wasn't prepared for this. Okay. So this is my hurdle page. Basically, what I'm trying to do is be that coach to help all these other coaches who don't have hurdle coaches at their school. Or if you're a track coach and you got hurdlers, but no one on your staff knows how to coach hurdles, I can fit in there too. I do have some free things for people. This is a really awesome video that I put together that shows the 6 techniques you need to level up your hurdling. And I put that together because I review so much video. After a while, you just see all the trends. And these are the things that will definitely, that I see the biggest mistakes in, that people can correct. And I compare you to Olympians. So you see how it should be. Then I do a lot of this is what I just did today. Whenever you submit your video for review, I put them all together. And then when I have a handful of them, I do a live stream. That way everybody else can benefit to learn from it. This is what I recommend, and I get a lot of great reviews on this, Hurdling 101. If you are learning or you just need to be corrected and go back to the basics, this is a great step-by-step thing to teach you how to do it. If you're a coach or a hurdler and you want a plan, and this is not just a workout, this is detailed. This is 60 pages of workouts, of 3 workouts a week for a 12-week high school season. Same thing here. It takes you step by step how to do it and to progress you as the season goes on, so you get better and better all the time. If you liked my coaching on here and you want me to do that with you, this is how to do it. I have several people, more than several people, a lot of people on here, and they want to use me as either a second advisor for their technique, or they don't have a coach at all and they want me to give them workouts, everything. It's unlimited correspondence. I have people that send me multiple videos a week, ask me multiple questions a week, and this is my priority, is in here. And then when I have free time, I'm making videos and I'm doing the free analysis, my live stream. And then here are some videos I have. They're all in and some articles. But if you go to if you've seen my live stream, you've been to my YouTube channel. So I'm not gonna do that. So, all right. So let me get here and wrap this up. But I guess I should just double check real quick to see any other questions. Okay, no other questions. So back to here. All right, so if you want me to help you, go to my website. You saw that place where you can upload your video, and I will take those and I'll respond to you really quickly, upload all those into a folder, and then once a week or so, I'll do these on a live stream. That's how it works. And if you want more beyond that, you can ask me questions there, or you can go to acemethodcoaching.com and ask me a question there. And when I get the questions, I'll talk about them on here. Typically, it kind of goes in waves. This time of year, when everybody's in their season, I'm getting lots of requests for video reviews. Sometimes it's mostly questions, but we'll go from there. Anyway, so I hope that helped, and let me know if you need anything. Coach Ace out.